How diddly do everyone in YouTube land? It's your boy Teagle the Beagle back again with another video, my first one actually, in a while, talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically, Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel is what I want to talk about today. Mainly, I want to talk about how I do believe that despite the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't a perfect card game, even though I say it is my favorite, even I know I'm coping because I played it when I was a kid, I understand that. However, I do think Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is the best online simulator you can find at the moment. When it first came out, I would say it was pretty much on par with most other simulators. Like, the one thing it had over them is that its monetization system was genuinely fucking better than all of theirs combined, especially Magic the Gathering Arena. Listen, as a Magic fan, even I don't play that dog shit platform anymore. I am not spending like $30,000 to get like one rare card, thank you. But that's not what I want to focus on. I specifically want to focus on how now, with all the changes Master Duel has made, I don't think it's perfect. I still think that it has flaws that I'll point out, and I will talk about them in length. But I do think at the moment, it's a lot better than where it started, and it is definitely the best online card game simulator. That is like multiplayer. Like, Slay the Spire is still the best for online card games, but that's not multiplayer, so we don't count it. Now, of course, there could be an online card simulator I'm not thinking of at the moment. Like, I know, like, Legends of Runeterra is, like, okay. Though at the same time, I hear literally no one ever talk about that game. So, like, I'm just going to assume it's not that good. Though if it is really that good and the simulator's that good, talk about it in the comments. I do like discussion. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, I want to talk about where it started really quickly, which is the new player experience. The new player experience in Master Duel has always been like one of its biggest strengths. Back when it first came out, we were all stunned by it, because we thought knowing Konami was going to be greedy as shit. But then it came out, and the system that we got specifically basically gave you like 6,000 or so gems just from starting opening the game. And then you had pack bundles, which gave you actual staple cards plus 10 packs of cards. And getting those bundles was 750 gems, I believe, around 800 or so. I didn't take and put the amount it is in now. But it was around that amount. And then you could just get 10 packs, which, by the way, 10 packs cost 1,000 gems normally. And sure, they were master packs, so it just was a collection of every fucking card in the game. So you never got something you wanted. But then that allowed you to get a secret pack. What's a secret pack, you may ask? A secret pack allows you to open like a more curated section of cards. Like a secret pack, a master pack might have like every archetype in the game, while a secret pack has like 1 or 2 archetypes in it at most, allowing you to more build your deck around specific cards or archetypes you like much easier. Or if you like, and also all the new cards are automatically put in selection packs, which you could just there are 2 selection packs out of the time that kind of rotate out in and out, and you just open that, and that's good. That was the biggest strength of Master Duel was its new player experience, except it wasn't. It was very bad, because the new player experience for it was also playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, and you don't understand how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works, the best way to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! And MBD pointed this out when he talked about the whole Raran and Master Duel situation, is the fact that if you get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Without having someone to coach you on what the hell special summoning and combos are, you will have no fun. You will have zero understanding of the game. You will not be able to read fast enough to understand fucking anything, which, by the way, that's another thing. All the cards were just blocks of text, so reading them genuinely made my eyes hurt, and I had to skim through them really quickly, which made it really difficult to understand what the hell I was dueling against. Which made the new player experience, well, yes, great, because you could make whatever deck you want, you would never want to play with it. Also, there was a huge problem on launch where it wasn't caught up to TCG or the OCG. It doesn't have to get caught up with the OCG, because that's only in Japan, whereas the TCG version of the card game is everywhere. And I should mention the difference. OCG, it's just they get cards earlier than everywhere else. It's basically like a testing ground to where the rest of the world can go, okay, this is what happened, we should do this, we should ban these cards, we should limit these cards, we should stop this from happening to make sure that the game doesn't become an unbalanced piece of shit mess. Granted, they never do, because they like money. But yeah. And basically what happened was they have the TCG and the OCG cards, but they weren't caught up to either. Like, they weren't even caught up to the TCG, which got shit later than the OCG did. Like, if they weren't even caught up to the OCG either, so it was just kind of boring, because there's a lot of cards that you wanted to play, but you couldn't, because they weren't in the game. So some people were turned off because of that. It's like, well, I want to play all my favorite archetypes, but they're not in yet, so I have to wait. Even cards that had already been in TCG for years weren't there, which was really annoying. I should mention that the Yu-Gi-Oh app called Duel Links also has this problem, but that's mainly because it's more forgivable because it's an entirely different format called Rush Duel. So whenever they import cards, they do have to change their effects around. They do have to, like, they add anime-only cards. Like, there is a lot excusing Rush Duel. Oh, wait, not Rush Duel. Speed Duel. Speed Duel, my bad. Not Rush Duel. They do have Rush Duel there now, but that's a completely different format, my bad. But basically, what it is with Speed Duels, it's a completely new and different format, so people don't care that it's not caught up, and it's actually doing its damnedest to catch up now, I swear. But, Master Duel is the main format of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's singleton instead of best of 3, but still, it is Yu-Gi-Oh! And they didn't have a lot of cards, which turned a lot of people off. There was also the fact that it was exceedingly unbalanced because of the combined ban list. So, here's how TCG and OCG also work for anyone who doesn't know. They have different ban lists. The OCG has their own cards where it's like, this is limited to 1, this is banned, this is limited to 2, and so on and so forth. This is allowed to 3 or whatever. And that's separate from the TCG, which has a completely different banned and limited list. And it's mainly just the fact that they are two different versions of the game that Konami tries to keep distinct from each other. I'm not quite sure we can't just do TCG or OCG, but then again, OCG actually seems to take care of their ban list a little better than TCG does. Even though Tier Lament was, like, around way longer than it was in the TCG, I think on average, OCG does take care of it better. But that's a topic for another day. And what happens is, Master Duel wants TCG and OCG players. So which ban list do they use? They don't choose either, they just mishmash them together. And unfortunately, this is very bad. For specifically one reason, and that is Max fucking C. This is a problem that still isn't fixed to this day, where we have Max fucking C in the game. And I don't care what anyone says, even though it's been in the game for fucking its entire lifetime, at 3, not even limited. Like, at minimum, limit the fucking thing, so we don't have to deal with it, or semi-limit. You certainly like semi-limiting cards, Master Duel. It's just the fact that this singular card, Max C, which is so goddamn powerful, literally every deck plays it. It made the game extremely unfun, because it's just like your opponent activates Max C, you do your combo, they then hit you with the board breaker, and then win the game. Because basically what Max C allowed you to do was on every special summon that your opponent does, you draw a card. In Yu-Gi-Oh, you could special summon upwards of 10 fucking times. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, where a singular card can say destroy all your opponent's monsters or spell traps, and you also have one card combos, and hand traps that allow you to interact with your opponent on their turn, yeah, drawing fucking upwards of 5, 6, 7, like 10 cards a turn is fucking ridiculous. Even against stun decks, which only special summon maybe 2 or 3 times a turn now, you kidding me? Getting rid of one card in your hand to draw 2 is still fucking amazing. That's why Pot of Greed is banned, because it just reads draw 2. That's ridiculous. However, I personally think besides Max C, Master Duel has fixed these problems. Let's get into it. First of all, new player experience. There are a couple things they've done to fix this. First of all, they have added in new tutorials on how to use structure decks. Now, right now, this is only temporary. I hope they make this permanent, and I think the tutorials are permanent, which is why it's, like, fine if they don't make the structure decks themselves permanent, but I wish they will. Basically, what it is you can go ahead, without building a deck, without spending gems at all, you can go straight to Ranked, go to the Structure tab, and pick up a structure deck. Now, structure decks range from 3 different types. A nostalgic, fusion-based archetype called Cyber Dragon, which is mainly just for coping. That deck is not good. There is Eldritch, which is for the stun players who like the trap and slower type of games, like Magic the Gathering players whenever they play Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm a Magic the Gathering player too, I get it. I love playing stun. There's also Combo, which is something I also like, which is a lot of the decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is all about, basically Storm. For Magic the Gathering players, it is Storm, but all the decks are Storm, which is really funny because none of our cards cost anything. And what you do is you combo the cards together and you blah 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 blah. And now, in Master Duel, there is a little solo mode option. I forget what it's called. I think it's called like Triforce or Tri-Type, whatever it's called. And what you do is you get tutorials on how to play all 3 decks, and then you get to just play and experiment with them. This allows you to, like, it basically lets you know, hey, this is how special summoning works, these are how combos work, and it also was really helped by the second change Master Duel has done, which is made it so the text boxes are spread out, and here's what it is. For every single card effect, I think it's after every sentence, and it's not every sentence, it's like after every card effect ends, they will separate it into a separate paragraph from the others. So for example, if a card before had the effect like, when this card is summoned, draw 2. At the end of the turn, destroy this card, or something like that. Instead, it says, when this card is summoned, draw 2, period, enter, second paragraph, at the end of the turn, destroy this card. Making it so that skimming them is actually physically possible and doesn't hurt my eyes anymore, but also there is certain stuff that's just like at the end of the cards, they'll say, you can only use the effect of blah 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 once per turn, and it's like, oh, okay, I can just skip that now. So, basically it allows you to really look at the card a lot better, if that makes any sense. It just allows you to read it faster, meaning that you can learn what your opponent's doing much easier, meaning playing against them isn't cancerous. So these 2 changes have already made the new player experience good. Right now I think the meta isn't great for newer players, however at lower tiers it's actually really fine because you don't see a lot of people playing Snake Eyes, they're all in the high tiers, thank the Lord. I also think that just generally the rank system means that to get to the really high ranks with Snake Eyes and the really annoying bullshit decks, you really do have to like work hard to iron out your deck and make it really good before you can get there. I mean, like, I used to be able to climb the ladder with Grenmaju. Now I can't get past gold with him, which I don't know if that's something Master Duel did or it's just something the players are doing that makes it more difficult to climb, but I think it in general does help because it keeps like the people with lower power decks against people with lower power decks. I don't know what it is, it just is. It's great. I also want to talk about how it no longer has trouble keeping up with the TCG release schedule. Hell, some people have now started complaining that it's just adding them really quickly and not limiting them or changing them in any way, which is another discussion. It is a problem by the fact that they just add Snake Eyes in with barely any hits to actually stop them, which is really annoying, but it's more about making money in that case, which is greedy, but it's made by Konami, it's par for the course at this point. I mean, Magic the Gathering had the same problem. If I saw Wizards of the Coast, if I saw Wizards of the Coast and or Hasbro not being greedy bastards, I'd actually be surprised for once. But just in general, it is a good thing, because now the people who are complaining, hey, I can't play the cards I wanted to, well, you'll never complain about that again. The only thing you'll complain about is that there are so many things to pick from, which, you know, that's just good in a card game. Having more options is fun. I now want to talk about the fact that while the meta at the beginning of the game wasn't necessarily bad, and I think the meta nowadays is a lot worse than the starting meta. I think that's one of its biggest, like, flaws. I still think it's fun. Even against Snake Eyes, I can find myself having fun against them. It's like how MBT was with Tier Lament, even though I definitely disagree with that, is that the mirror match of Tier Lament was really good. I think Snake Eyes against most things can be really fun. Like, against most things. Against, like, rogue decks, it's not fun at all. But against decks that are, like, Tier 1, Tier 2, I definitely see myself having more fun that way. I mean, like, now, since I'm on, like, my 15th ult account for Master Duel, I don't really have a strong enough deck. I kind of poured all my gems into making Blackwing OTK. But at the moment, I still have fun against it. Like, I don't think it's great. I think it's still, like, not nearly as fun as Yu-Gi-Oh can be. Like, when Master Duel started out, I actually found that way more fun, even though Maxi still makes it fucking annoying, and Maxi is still a piece of shit card that should not be in the fucking game anymore. I still think that it's fun. It really is fun. But that's mainly my reasons why I think Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel is the best simulator. I mean, let's compare it to other ones really quickly. The Pokemon simulator. It literally doesn't work. I think it's down to like 1 or 2 stars on the App Store, simply due to Pokemon fans saying like, hey, this shit doesn't fucking work. It actively is broken and battered, and what's crazy, it's an official thing. Like, it's the official simulator for the Pokemon TCG, yet it doesn't fucking work. I will also say the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh has literally multiple simulators, such as Dueling Nexus, which actively work, and yet they're made by third parties. Like, Master Duel doesn't work perfectly, but it works way better than Pokemon TCG. And also, we have ones that work better even than Master Duel, and they're made by random fucking dudes in their grandmother's basement. Like, bro, step up your game. I actually like Pokemon. I love that fucking game. However, I'm not spending money on a third card game IRL. Like, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh are already eating my wallet. Like, I eat fucking hamburgers. Like, bro, if we look at Magic the Gathering Arena, it doesn't glitch, but not only is it extremely unfun to play anything besides Standard or Brawl / Historic Brawl, but I find it really, really unfun that to make a decent, not good, a decent deck, I have to cough up both my kidneys to just afford the packs. It's really annoying, and it sucks because Magic the Gathering Arena is really well made. It is probably the most polished simulator you can get for a card game, yet it's just so fucking greedy. There's also Blocks Cards, which is a Roblox game I really like, but I think its monetization system is also kind of garbage. And also, since it's Roblox, the visuals are genuinely fucking atrocious. I really hate how it looks. There are some other card games which I can point out, but those are like the big ones I play the most, and yes, I play Blocks Cards quite a lot. It's pretty fun, to be honest. I would definitely suggest checking it out if you ever get free time. And as I've said before, the best card game simulator of all time is Slay the Spire, no doubt, but for multiplayer card games that you can play against or with friends, it's Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. Like, even if you don't like Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel is so good. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. If you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic the Gathering mainly content, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and check out my other stuff. Soon, for the people who do watch my channel and have watched it for a while, I'm soon going to be reviving the series called Tribal Time, which if you want to go ahead and catch up on that series, you can go ahead and watch it. It should be either linked in the description. If I forgot to do that, yell at me and I'll link it. But until then, just go to my channel, go to playlist, and check that out. It's one of my favorite series to actually make, and I am going to be changing it from Historic Brawl to Commander because I enjoy that format more. However, if you want to understand what the hell I'm talking about, go watch it yourself and come back to this video and tell me what you thought of it. Or go put comments on those videos because no one comments on those videos. I hope to see y'all next time, and goodbye.
Yeah. All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright, staying awake till the sunrise.